The next is property of goods. Now I told you wherever you see property, it means ownership. So this is about the ownership of goods. How is ownership defined in the Sale of Goods Act 1930? The ownership is defined as property in goods means general property and not merely a special property. What do you mean by general property? General property means the right of ownership. And what do you mean by special property? Special property means the right of possession. So property we can say is of two types, general property and special property. In general property we are talking about the ownership. In special property we are talking about the possession. Now there is a difference between these two. Ownership means the right to own, wherein you own an asset. So once you own the asset, whatever you want to do with it, you can do. You want to sell it, you want to hold it, you want to use it, or you want to just keep it. Whatever you want to do with it, you can do it. Let's say you own a flat, bungalow. So now, since you are the owner, it depends upon you. How do you want to, make use of that bungalow? If you want to use it for your residential purpose, you can do it. If you want to sell it, you can sell it. If you want to give it on rent, it's entirely your right. Or if you want to just keep it, just hold it, you can do that also. So it entirely depends on you how you manage your asset which you own. So ownership is a very big right. It gives you all the rights over the asset. However, possession merely means having the goods with you, having that particular thing in your custody. Possession means custody. So having something under you does not make you the owner. Let's say you've taken a flat on rent. So you have the possession of the flat, but does that make you the owner? No. Let's say you found a shirt in the train. The owner had forgotten to take the shirt with him. He left it in the train. You found it. So you have the possession of that shirt, but do you become the owner? No, you'll have to return it to the owner. So having possession, though, is a right. However, it is not as big a right as having ownership. Ownership gives you complete control over the asset, over the goods. But possession does not give you complete control over the goods. Let's say you've taken a car on lease for 2 days on rent or for months or whatever period. So you get the possession of that car. Do you become the owner of that car? No, you do not become the owner of that car. Can you sell that car? No, because you are not the owner of that car. So you do not have complete control, all the rights over that asset, that car. But the person who owns the car has complete right over the goods, over the asset that he owns. He can do whatever he wants with that asset. Obviously, if he is within the four walls of law, if he is not doing something which is illegal, he can do whatever he wants with that asset that he owns. So possession is merely having a particular thing. having it in your custody. You borrow a pen from your colleague, so you have that pen in your possession. Can you do whatever you want with that pen? Can you sell that pen? Can you throw that pen away? No, you can't, because you are not the owner of that pen. You are under an obligation to return it to the owner. However, if you are an owner, you own that pen. Now that you own that pen and you are in the possession of that pen, you can do whatever you want with it. If you want to break it, you can break it. If you want to throw it, you can throw it. If you want to keep it, you can keep it. If you want to use it, you can use it. If you want to give it to someone else, you can do it. If you want to sell it, you can sell it. Whatever you want to do with the pen, you can do. So these are two things. First is ownership, second is possession. The more important thing here is the ownership. And in this act, we are concerned with ownership. Sale means transfer of ownership. Sale does not mean transfer of possession. So whenever I talk about sale, I always mean transfer of ownership. That means where the right to own is sold, not where merely the possession is transferred, possession is given. Okay, so but having possession is also a right, and it is called as special property. So which one do you think is bigger? The bigger is general property. Okay, so wherever property is mentioned here, we are talking about general property. That is what the definition mentions. Property in goods means general property and not merely special property. So special property is only where you possess things. Let's say I'll give you an example of pledge in this case. You own some gold. Now you are in need of money, but you don't want to sell the gold. So what you do is you go to the bank and ask for a loan. The bank tells you you need to give me some security. So as security, you give the bank the gold that you own and possess. Now when you give it to the bank, you have transferred the possession to the bank. Now bank will keep it until you repay the loan. But have you transferred the ownership there? No, you haven't transferred the ownership. The bank will have to give the gold back to you when you repay the loan. So when the bank has that gold under its possession, it only enjoys a special property in those goods, that is in gold. It does not enjoy a general property. It does not own that good. So it cannot do whatever it wants, with that good. It will have to return it to you when you repay the loan. So you have the general property in that loan. However, when that loan is, you have the general property as far as the gold is concerned. However, when you keep that gold as security with the bank only has a special property, a right to possess only. Okay, so these are the two types of properties. Whenever we talk about property in sale of goods, we are referring to ownership, general property, ownership, general property. Okay.